What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today is the start of a new challenge. A few months ago, I think back in March, Ellie and I decided to try to go on a walk, like a 30-minute walk every single day of the month. We didn't necessarily fail, but we also didn't succeed. Like we didn't actually go on a walk every day. Some days we went on a walk that was like an hour long or maybe an hour and a half long, and so we just adjusted. We missed some days, and we thought, oh, that'll just pay for it. We didn't take it super seriously, but we did do like a really good job on trying to go on a walk every day, 30 minutes. We would take major most of the time. We went on hikes. Fantastic. And then I came up with the idea of what if we do another challenge for a whole month? And I kind of went down a list in my head of challenges that we can do. Like, oh, let's see if we maybe don't eat this type of food for a month. Or let's do, what if we go on a hike every day? Or maybe I can't really come up with any of the ones that I came up with before, but one of the ones I came up with was to not eat sugar for a whole month. And we both kind of were like, okay, maybe we can do that. And we decided October was going to be the month we were going to do it. And what do you know? It's October. It's actually October 3rd, so I'm a few days behind on this, but I want to come on here and make an intro. This video will come out in November, probably near the end of November, if I'm being honest. And I want to kind of document my month on this challenge. Ellie's doing this challenge with me, but she doesn't really care if she's in any of the footage, and I want to get this video started so I have a baseline for, my weight. I want to, initially I wanted to do like my weight maybe every week or something, but I think I'm just going to do the start of the challenge and the end of the challenge to see if I lost any weight or if I gained weight. Now, we don't have like a really good set of rules for this challenge. It's pretty much just try to limit the amount of sugar that you eat or you intake, because I've noticed for a lot of the foods that we eat, from going shopping the other day, a lot of them have sugar in them. And some of them actually have a lot more sugar than I thought. And you know how like on the nutrition label it says like a percentage of what your daily intake should be based on a 2,000 calorie diet? And a lot of that is like, so many grams of sugar is like 100% of your daily intake. And some of these foods have more than or close to half of your daily intake, and it's just one serving of that food. And most of the time you will probably eat more than one serving. So we decided that although like some foods naturally have sugar, like fruits, we're going to try to limit the amount of added sugar in food. So if we have like an apple juice or something with apple in it, it's going to have sugar in it. However, there's no added sugar in that food or that drink, and that's okay. But we will kind of try to keep the overall total sugar to a minimum. You might look at the ingredient list and see that there's some sort of sugar in it, and that's the food that we're not going to eat. But one of the problems is that when we went shopping, it was the first day that we started and we had to go grocery shopping, and we went to Costco and we saw sugar-free liquid IVs. And I really do like liquid IV. I think it tastes good. I think I don't see anything really wrong with it. But I realized in that moment that day I had a regular liquid IV, and I didn't realize actually how much sugar is in there. And so I was like, I already failed. But I felt like it's okay in the sense of I didn't realize it, and it was something that I made the day prior. I made it the night before, and I just didn't think about it. But from then on, I switched over to the sugar-free. There was also something that Ellie had like mentioned to me, is that literally I think the night prior I also made some lemonade from like Minute Maid or whatever, like the powder lemonade, a picture of it. And she's like, yeah, that has sugar in it. And I was like, great. we have this full pitcher of lemonade, and we're not going to be able to drink it for a month. It's going to go bad. And so I think that night or maybe the next day, I talked to her and I said, I think maybe we can be a little bit lenient on this when it comes to the food or drinks that we already have. Because some food, some drinks we have, and they go bad within the next month, or, you know, they go bad soon, but they have sugar in it. And I don't want to waste food. I'm not going to throw away everything that I have that's sugar related or let it go bad because this month I'm not going to eat sugar. The other thing that we notice is most bread has sugar, and I'm not going to be spending, we don't really have the money to spend on like keto bread, and we also have bread at home that's gonna go bad. So we're just gonna try to limit our intake and not go complete zero sugar. But a lot of the foods that we chose at, you know, grocery shopping, or if they have like a sugar-free variant, we did that way. If they had sugar but there isn't a sugar-free option, we just didn't take it. But any food that we currently have at our home that is either going to expire or that would be wasted, we can eat it or drink it. Now, I'm not going to make another pitcher of lemonade because that lemonade powder will last a while, and we just don't need it right now. So, yeah, those are really the rules. Just try to limit as much as possible, and we're going to do 30 days. So on Halloween night, that's kind of when we can eat candy and whatever, but Halloween, I think, will be the end of the challenge. Like, in the morning, I will close out the video with my weight and kind of our thoughts on the challenge and would we do it again. Because I can tell you right off the bat, a lot of food has sugar in it. And when I hear people say, oh, I cut out sugar a long time ago, I'm like, I believe you in the sense of you probably don't drink any pop or lemonade or anything like sugary in general. But I could tell you a lot of the foods that you eat that you don't think has sugar in it, it does. And sugar itself is not bad. It's just like the amount that you get. And I think a lot of foods have a lot of sugar and they probably don't need it. One of them, actually, you kind of do need it because we got jelly. I wanted a PB&J and I didn't have any jelly. And it sucks because when we went shopping for jelly, we saw a sugar-free version of it. It's not very good. But let me go show you. Let me take you into the other room and show you some of the things that we already have to change about how we do things or whatever. But one of the things that we don't have to change is Alani's. Alani's are sugar-free because they use artificial sugar. Sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners. Which, should we be trying to limit sweeteners in general? Maybe. But sugar is just one of those things that, yeah. I'm not going to go on it anymore because I'm not a dietitian or a physician or some sort of person in the healthcare field. But these are pretty good. Now, I also needed one the other day because I had a 4-hour shift that got off at around midnight, and I worked the next day at 5:30 in the morning, and that would mean I would have like about 3 hours of sleep, and it's just no bueno for me. And I don't know if any of you really know, but I am working at a school, and so when it comes to lunch, I actually get to have a free lunch. They give me a free lunch. I don't know where I'm trying to put this camera at. Let's temporarily put it here. So for school lunches, I get this chocolate milk. I always drank this chocolate milk at school. Delicious. The problem is there is a total of 22 grams of sugar, and that is 10 grams of sugar is 20% of your daily amount. And so I couldn't drink this. I didn't steal this. It was the milk that I took the day before my challenge, and I didn't drink it. Now, a food like this, I do not like raisins, but this literally only has raisins. That's the ingredients. Now, how they make this, I'm not so sure, but it just says raisins. And the sugar that is included is 24 grams. However, it says including 0 grams of added sugars. To me, this is a food that is okay to eat because the sugar seems to have come with the grapes, with the raisins. So I think this is okay, but I absolutely hate raisins. The other thing I want to say is there are foods that we have, like this box of peanuts. You got hot, salt and lime, spicy, and Japanese peanuts. And I looked at the nutrition label for each of these, and most of them have sugar, but only one has added sugar, and that's the Japanese style peanuts. I don't really like this version of these, so I'm not gonna eat them, and Ellie said we'll just save them for after the challenge. But these are fine to eat because the sugar, I believe, comes in either the peanuts or maybe the vegetable oil. I don't know, I didn't really actually, oh, it says right here, dextrose. So they do add a little bit of sugar or whatever in them, but it's 2 grams. And you know what? I'm not gonna eat these very often. I did have one the other day, and these actually, I feel like these last a while. April 7th of 2026. These are okay to sit on our shelf, the pantry, whatever, until our challenge is over. We'll go through these pretty quickly. But even things like this milk, it has sugar in it, but it doesn't have any added sugar. And I think it's important to recognize that, again, foods, just sometimes foods just have sugar in it, and you're not gonna be able to completely get rid of sugar in your diet. This, I kind of said it when we were shopping. I said, I'm kind of excited for this diet or whatever. And Ellie said, I wouldn't call it a diet. I would call it a challenge. And I said, that's what it is. It is a challenge. It's not a diet. It might be a dietary change, but it is a challenge. This is something that we're only going to do for a month. And I'm excited because it adds a little pizzazz to your life. It adds a little bit of change in your life that I think is probably a good thing. Now, for the people who want to go no sugar forever, that's all you. That's awesome. There's one other thing I want to show you real quick on the sugar part. Now, on the topic of milk, we usually get a gallon because we can get through it within the expiration date, because Ellie drinks a coffee almost every day and I have a bowl of cereal every now and again, so we can kind of get through it, and she does too. But every single cereal in the aisle has sugar in it, except for there's some other brand as well that doesn't have any sugar, but they are expensive. And I'm talking like this box alone, I'll put up the price here, but from what I can remember, there was like a small like bag about this size of cereal, and it was like $10. And usually a box about this size might be $4. This is insane how expensive it is, and you don't get a lot in here. I tried it yesterday. It has a slight like fruity taste to it. I don't know, a different taste than I imagined. It's not bad. I just don't think I would ever do it again. I don't think I would ever eat this cereal again. But if it's available to me, yeah, it's fine. I think it's fine. It has 0 sugar. It does have like cocoa powder in it, and it says adds a trivial amount of sugar. So it doesn't have much sugar in it at all, like just pretty negligible. Trivial is the word that they use. So yeah, no sugar is expensive, but so is food in general. So you get what you get, you don't throw a fit, is what my mom would always tell me. Actually, I don't know how often she would tell me that, but With that being said, let's go ahead and do a weigh-in, and then we'll close out this portion of the video, and then I might take some clips here and there, talk about my experience. So far, it's been okay. I haven't really noticed anything, but then again, I've been busy and I haven't really thought about it much, other than the fact that when we were grocery shopping, I was like, that probably has sugar. That day, I probably said the word sugar more than I ever have in my whole entire life, which is crazy. But there's not a really good spot to put this camera at. So welcome to my relatively newly renovated bathroom. We got this scale here that we've had for a while. I will take, okay, now it's zeroed out. All right. I took my shoes off, but I'm wearing clothes, and that's funny. 166.6 pounds. And yes, those are Seahawks socks, because I ran out of clean socks, and those are the only ones left. 166.6 pounds on October 3rd, around 11:30 in the morning. We will do a weigh-in at the end of the challenge. That's it. Let's go ahead and go on with this challenge. Like I said earlier, I'll drop in every now and again to talk about maybe once every other day or maybe once a week to talk about what my experience was that week and maybe the types of food or the food that we ate, because that would be kind of exciting. But let's get this challenge going. And I forgot one last thing. This month, Ellie will be gone on a trip. I was about to say field trip. A trip with her mom going to Texas for like a whole week. And I did tell her that I think you should try, but you shouldn't really like force your mom also to go to these places to give you a sugar-free option. If you go to a restaurant, I don't think you should really worry about it, but I do think you should at least try to limit the amount. But at the end of the day, this video is primarily about me doing the challenge. And maybe another month we can do some other challenge. Maybe again, next spring, summer, we can do that walk every day sort of challenge again. But yeah, again, it sucks that she's going to be gone, but you know what? I think, like I said, just limit the amount will be good. But I forgot to mention that. So yeah. So quick update. I wanted to talk about our progress with this challenge. The other day, I'm at work, and Ellie texts me a photo of what she's eating during lunch. And I said, that looks delicious, but what do I see in there? Sugar. And then she goes, OMG, I forgot. And I'm like, I don't know how you would have forgotten, because I think it was a few days before someone offered her donuts or something. And she goes, thanks, but no thanks, because she remembered. So I don't know what happened that made her think, it's okay, because one of the main ingredients is M&M's and probably popcorn that has stuff on it.
Why are you exposing me right now?
Because I also have a story to tell. Because not only last night, I think it was last night, I had a dream that I tried to sneak a Hershey chocolate in, and for Ellie not to see. And I was trying to keep it away from her. And I don't know why that I had that dream, but I did. And then yesterday was my last day at work. And the kitchen ladies, they're so nice. Very, very nice. I love the food service. She said something about she had a little candy bucket for Halloween, and she wanted to give me a piece. So I picked out a Kit Kat, knowing that I can't eat it, and so I'll just eat it later. She goes, no, take some more. Do you want Reese's? Sure. Do you want Oreos? Sure. And I said, she goes, do you want a cowtail? Do you want original or caramel? No, she said original or something else. But this is original caramel or whatever. So I took that. Then for dessert for lunch, she asked me if I wanted Scooby snacks. And I said, of course. And they, of course, have sugar. I haven't been able to drink chocolate milk at school because of it. And the other day for dessert for lunch were these, and they have a ton of sugar. 14 grams of sugar in this little packet of fruit snacks. I could tell you though, I have been eating, like, I haven't really been paying attention to things, and when I do and I'm like already eating it or I plan on eating it, I'm like, okay, it's like 1 gram of sugar. I think that's a lot better than how much sugar we were eating or I was eating previously. I can tell you Halloween, we're going to make it all back up. I can tell you for that right now, because when we were at Costco the other day, we got candy. Thank you very much. And we put it in our closet here because we don't have any other space that we could put this candy that we wouldn't really get to. And the cats wouldn't either. But so far, I'm thinking we're doing pretty good. At least I am.
You're literally dreaming about candy, like, be for real.
I am dreaming about candy. That's a problem, but that just means I'm taking this seriously. I caved, but I think it was for a good reason. Tell that to any person who is, I think every person who has ever done like a diet or a lifestyle change or whatever you want to call it, they will always say I caved and it was for a good reason or something. I don't know. It's funny. Without getting too much into it, I basically started working as a sub-custodian again, and there was no time between quitting from my last job into working at this new job, other than like a weekend. And the shift is 6 to 2:30, 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I am also subbing for another school district, so this other district I got on first. However, the one that I'm currently talking about, I subbed for last year, and I really enjoyed it. And they wanted me to come back, and I also wanted to go back because they also don't have enough subs. So yesterday, I had to do a game cleanup at District 1. I was currently working at District 2 from 6 to 2:30. District 1, my 4-hour shift would start around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I would get off at 11, 12, whatever time that is, right? I then would have to come back home, wake up early to get to work by 6. At this sub job, I don't have that much leeway with coming in a little bit late. And I've done this kind of shift before where I work at my regular job, I go up and do the sub like game cleanup, and then I go back to work. I've done it before. It wasn't great, but it worked. Because I slept in, I just submitted some time off for like 2.5 hours. But I can't do that with subbing. So while I was there at the game cleanup, I found one of these. Now this is a mini-sized Twix. And I sat there thinking about it. And I said, you know what? The amount of sugar that's in this is probably not enough. Because of the serving size and all that, this single mini-sized Twix has about 5 grams of sugar. Now that's not really a lot, but that's kind of a lot for this kind of size. So I didn't succeed, and I kind of already knew that I wasn't going to, right? Also because we've had corn dogs, and the corn dogs have sugar. The ketchup has sugar. A lot of things have sugar, but not a whole lot. And I kind of thought 1 gram here, 2 grams here. If it's inevitable, it's inevitable, especially for the food that we already have. This was a treat, and it was a treat for me based on the fact that I was working pretty hard and I had to go and do this other shift. But here's the real kicker. Tomorrow night and Friday night, so Thursday and Friday, I have to work 2 8-hour shifts, basically back to back. I end one, and in 45 minutes I start the other because it takes me that long to get to the other school. I told one of my coworkers that I think I flew a little too close to the sun, and I told Ellie that I think I overbooked myself, and she also agrees. But one of the reasons why I am doing this is because I'm currently subbing for like a week and a half, potentially longer, at District 2. District 1, I already said okay to for dates a little bit later. The dates a little bit later, at that specific shift, I was asked if I can come in this Thursday to shadow and then Friday to actually cover, and it'll be the same thing I'll be doing in a few weeks later. And I said, yeah, because I can do it. I know I can do it, but I didn't really think about, I will do an 8-hour shift, and then I won't have any time to come home. I have to immediately get up there. In fact, I will be late by 45 minutes if I get off at my regular time. So I talked to District 2 and District 1, and District 1 is letting me start a little bit later, and District 2's letting me start a little bit earlier, so then I would get off earlier. And I think it'll be okay. Tomorrow will be okay because tonight I'll get enough sleep, I'll be ready to go, but Friday is going to be real rough. And the thing about Friday is there's no school Friday for District 2. But I had already accepted the kind of shift for Friday so that I can work it. And then I was told about Thursday and Friday with District 1. So I really did overbook myself. But you know what? It's going to be okay because there's going to be days, especially in like December, where there's not going to be any shifts. And we're going to go like a whole week without working. And in fact, I think Ellie's going to be in the same boat, even if she is doing a long-term sub, which is what she's doing from the 21st of this month all the way until the end of January, which will be really good. And after so long, she'll be put on the pay scale, and her position is pretty high up there, so it'll be nice. But with that being said, I ate one of these, and I'm not going to tell Ellie until she sees this. I'm not even going to tell her when she comes back because Ellie's currently on a trip, and she left this Tuesday and will be back next Monday. We have a whole big bag from Costco of candy for Halloween. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to eat most of it Halloween. And another thing is I have yet to go on the scale because I don't want to know my weight until the end of this kind of experiment, this challenge, because I want to see if trying to cut as much sugar out of my diet does anything. And even though things change day to day, month to month, I could be losing weight because of how much I'm working, how much I'm moving, how much I'm not, how much I'm kind of exercising or however you want to say it. But long story short, I had a Twix, but it was a mini size and it was only one. So 5 grams of sugar last night. But you know what? If you add up all the sugar I've eaten in 1 month on average, especially like maybe October, to what I'm eating now, it is dramatically different. So I don't feel too bad about this. It did taste really good. I do wish I saved it, but you know what? It is what it is. I have to go out right now and mow my yard because I need to do that. I also need to finish fixing Ellie's car. None of that really matters for this video, but I just thought to update y'all about my situation here and how tired I'm going to be on Friday and tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's not going to be fun. But the good thing about tomorrow is I'm shadowing, so when inevitably I'm going to be helping this custodian do his job, therefore we should get done early and we can leave early. So I can potentially come home earlier than expected, and I'm really hoping that's the case. so that I can get plenty of sleep. And then Friday, I'll be by myself, but it'll be Friday so I can sleep in Saturday. And hopefully this doesn't happen that often. If it only happens once every few months, I can do it. But so far, since this is my first week subbing and I'm already dealing with it, and I was almost double booked for more than a week straight. And that would not have done. Anyways, back to this challenge. We're halfway. We are halfway. It is October 15th. We are halfway done. Halfway done. I could do this. I could do this for another 15 days. And on the 16th day is when we are off the challenge. The challenge is over with. 30 days straight. Try to cut out as much sugar as possible. You better believe on Halloween I'm gonna be just golly. I can't wait. Also, real quick, I planted a tree yesterday. Just a sneak peek. Look at that tree right there. You see it? Boom. Also, it got down to like 33 last night or this morning, and I don't know if it's gonna make it. And I also don't know. I think my water and all that was fine, and that's kind of why I rushed yesterday. But I just love to talk, guys. I love to talk. I love doing vlogs, but I gotta get back to working because I'm home alone and I have stuff I gotta do, and I'm gonna go to bed early tonight. I want to try to get to bed at like 7, but it's already 4 o'clock, and I don't know. It'd be nice. It's the 23rd, so we got about 7 more days until the challenge is overdone. What? Over and done with. It is overdone. And I need to update you guys on a few things. One, I think it was last week, or maybe the week before. Eugene, I was going to sit there. Last week or the week before, whatever week it was, whatever day it was, the Thursday and Friday I worked double shifts. I did end up able to come home earlier than I was expecting and actually go to the second shift earlier than I was expecting as well. And it went great. Everything was fine. Ellie came home. On her trip, she was telling me that, she didn't succeed. She ate and drank kind of whatever she wanted. I think I already mentioned some of that, but another thing I want to mention is right now we don't have a whole lot of food. And so we need to go grocery shopping. And now this time, because we only have about 7 days left, I think we should just be able to get whatever we want on the regular amount of stuff, because there's some foods that I didn't get last time when we went grocery shopping because I knew that it had too much sugar in it and I didn't want to eat it. But now I think I want to get that stuff, but I won't eat it until the end of the challenge. The other thing is, other than that one small Twix, I haven't had any any candy. And I am so excited. Yesterday we went to McDonald's, and on the little menu, this was like lunch actually. On the menu it had before you go, do you add these to your bag or whatever? And it was an M&M McFlurry. And those are like my favorite, honestly. And I wanted it so bad. I literally almost touched it, and I was like, no. That thing is just pure sugar. So, all that is to say, I'm so ready for this to be over with. I'm excited because today was, yesterday was my first full day back on not working. And today is my second. However, this evening, tonight, around 7 is when I'm going to be back up, subbing in a 4-hour shift. And I'm kind of excited because I'm going to have my energy. I'm not going to have to come home and worry about not getting enough sleep for my shift tomorrow. And tomorrow I have other stuff to do. But Today I wanted to actually mention just in this video, I started working more out in my shop today, organizing it and getting it figured out. And then I realized I was recording all that, right? So what I did today, I didn't record. And so the next time I pick up my camera and I'm going to go out there and work out there, I need to take my camera out there and do some stuff. But I think tomorrow I actually, if I do anything out there, it might be the last few things that I want to do before I actually start recording again. But I also need to organize all the footage I have of every video that I am doing and figure out what video I need to post next. Because I have too many videos that are partly recorded, partly edited, not recorded, that I want to record, and I really need to get back into editing. But I also have other responsibilities. I have to go to my in-laws to clean their house for 4 hours. Tonight I have to do a 4-hour shift in one of the school districts. Tomorrow is like really the only day I can continue to do these things, and I vacuumed and mopped the whole house. I did a load of dishes. I'm doing laundry. I'm whatever. And all of this when I'm not eating or drinking any sugar. I can tell you though, I've had way too many Elanis in the past month. So much so that I'm like this close to just saying no more Elanis for me for like a whole month. That's the next challenge, right? But yeah, other than that, I'm doing all right. I'm excited because Halloween's coming up and I'm going to spend the time with my family and I'm going to be eating candy. And if they don't get a whole lot of kids trick-or-treating, I'm going to be bringing home a bunch of candy. I can't wait for it, guys. I can't wait for it. What is wrong with sugar? It's the 30th day. That means it's the last day of this challenge. I weighed myself on the first day, right? Or was it day 0? I think I weighed myself the first day. I don't really want to weigh myself in the morning, and I'm going to be eating candy all day long tomorrow, so I think I'm going to weigh myself right now. And I'm not wearing the same clothes I was wearing on the very first clip, but we're going to go ahead and check to see, one, how much weight I've lost or gained. And the point wasn't necessarily to see how much I would lose. The point was just to see if I could cut out sugar, which technically I couldn't. I didn't. Because not only did I have that one treat, but some of the foods that I was eating had sugar in it. Some of the foods that I was eating, I didn't even know had sugar in it. I had some corn dogs. I had, our bread has sugar in it. And I don't know what else, but there's definitely other foods that have sugar that you don't really realize that have sugar. And I do think tomorrow would be a better time to weigh myself, but in all honesty, I don't want to wait and do it in the morning because I'm working tomorrow and I don't want to do it after work because like what I just said earlier, I'll be eating candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and dessert. Wow, 166.2. I'm serious. Look at this. That goes to show you. I'm just kidding. I really didn't. I kind of expected it to be more than 0.4 pounds. That's crazy. And I honestly, I don't feel much different. I think if I were to exercise during this month, there was a couple days where there was a couple days during this month that I walked a lot, but I didn't exercise. And I think cutting out as much sugar as possible and then exercising would definitely make a difference. I would say that is, I mean, I don't think I gained. Here's the thing. I don't think you lose weight by not eating sugar. I think you gain weight by eating tons of sugar, but I don't think you lose weight by not eating sugar. See, that's the key there. I think if your lifestyle doesn't change, other than not eating sugar, there's still other things that you may be doing, like calories. I think that's more of a problem than just sugar itself. But I do have to say, this month was one of the hardest months for me personally, because there's many times where I wanted candy, where I wanted chocolate, like for dessert. Oh, it's so bad. It's so funny though. I remember growing up, I used to be like, oh, just don't eat it, you know, because my mom would always like go on diets and stuff, and we would have like Oreos and stuff, and she would be like, we're not gonna have this stuff anymore, and I'm like, just don't eat it. It's extremely difficult to not eat the thing that you have when you are craving it, and my mom craves chocolate a lot of the time, and I get that. I get it all the time, and it drives me nuts, because I'm like, I can eat a whole bag of M&Ms or one of those Costco-sized jars of M&Ms in under a few days, probably. I don't know what it is. It's just delicious, and I wish they would make sugar-free chocolate that I don't even know if that's a real thing, and I don't know how good it tastes if they actually make it. And I want to try to find it one day. But that day is not today. Now the real question is, do I go all the way until the morning with this challenge, or do I just cut it here? And because I don't even remember what time I started it. If I started it when I woke up, like in the 12 o'clock midnight that day, the first day, or if it was the moment that I started the video. I don't know. But with that being said, Ellie, how was this month for no sugar?
You were more successful than I was.
Yeah. But really, we're gonna eat dinner right now. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. We're not having noodles with it.
We can if you really want me to put some in there.
No, it's okay. But I do want to say that yeah, that's it. I think that. What's our next? That's the question actually. What's our next challenge? What is it?
I don't know.
Should it be? Should it be like an action?
Hey, Ryan makes dinner for 30 days.
It should be Ellie does the dishes for 30 days. That's what I thought. I don't know if it should be like an action thing, or like, you know, like when we did the walk, go on a walk every day, or if it should be more of a restriction sort of thing, or I don't know.
Watch a movie every single night for 30 days.
Watch a movie every single night for 30 days. It's crazy. We do have a movie jar that we started to draw movies from, and we have a movie that we need to watch. We do have to finish our show first, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what our next challenge should be and when we should do it, and for how long actually. Because imagine we do it for more than the 30 days. But yeah, with that being said, that'll be it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to smack that button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on post notifications. I'll see you guys on the next time.